This is a huge story with a huge price tag. The Wall Street Journal reporting Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg has bought a $150 million home in Florida. The palatial estate is in the super exclusive Indian Creek area. It kind of makes Zuck a semi-neighbor with fellow zillionaire Jeff Bezos, along with Carl Icahn, Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner, Tom Brady, and more. Now, it's not clear if Zuckerberg is leaving California or just buying a Florida crash pad. Why not? But I did post on X about it last night and noted that companies, let's be honest, folks, you know this. Companies have a tendency to find executives hanging out near where their CEO is. And if Meta maybe could move some people to the area, they already have a growing office in Miami. Now, one of those who saw the post and responded was hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman, who responded to my tweet and said, quote, "California's toast, self-immolation," end quote. Ackman is referring to the state's high tax rate for top earners. This issue obviously getting a lot of attention. Does it actually mean anything other than a rich guy buying another home? Let's talk about it with CNBC's wealth editor, Robert Frank. Robert Frank, the hard-hitting question is, does this mean anything other than another rich guy buying another home?
Well, it does mean something, Brian. It's an important story, but maybe not for the reasons that Bill Ackman is talking about. There are a lot of billionaires in California with their hair on fire right now, calling this the end of California because of this tax, which let's break down the facts. So this is a tax that would be a one-time tax of 5% on the total wealth of any billionaire in California. Now, this has not gotten on the ballot yet. So number one, you have to get the signatures to get on the ballot. Number two, it has to get a majority of the voters in November to pass on that ballot. And three, and this is the most important thing, if this passes on the ballot, it will likely not pass the courts. And by that, I mean both the state Supreme Court and the federal court, because this would be the first ever wealth tax. But having said all that, if you're Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page, Sergey Brin moved to Florida from California. Sergey Brin has bought a house. As you say, Mark Zuckerberg bought a house. Unclear if he's officially moved his residence or not. But if those folks eventually move, whether it's permanent or it's temporary, pending this outcome, this is a big loss for California because as we've seen, Larry Page already moved. They're already moving their philanthropy. I know for a fact that some of them have moved their kids in schools. And some of them have moved their family offices. They've moved some of their private companies that are not attached to, say, Google, Amazon, or Meta. And so their own personal ecosystem, whether it's the company or not, may have already moved for some of these people.
Those are hundreds of jobs. And I want to clear this up because there's you'll see some politicians come out and they'll be like, they can afford to pay a little more and do their fair share, right? And it's like, we're not talking about, tell me if I'm wrong, we're not talking about a couple of percent more on their income, okay? Yes, they can afford that easily. From what I've seen, because the way the wealth tax is structured, some of this would confiscate billions or tens of billions or more of their income, because not income, wealth, because it's an equity, correct? What am I missing?
Be realized. That's what I'm curious about as well, Robert. So, let's say you make $10, but your wealth is $5 million, and you have to pay $1 million on that. And what do you do?
Well, let's just break down real numbers. So, for Larry Page, Sergey Brin, Mark Zuckerberg, you're talking about tax bills of $12–15 billion. So. But that's one piece of it. The second piece is in order to raise that amount of cash, these guys are rich, but they don't have $10 billion lying around. They have to sell their shares. When you sell your shares, you pay a capital gains tax, both federal and state. And so that tax on top of that, plus you have to pay the tax on the shares you sold to pay the tax. So you're talking about $12 or $15 billion in taxes, but probably $20 billion or so once the net of that to pay the 5% California wealth tax. So it's more than it looks. They can afford it. That is absolutely true. When you're worth $240 billion, you can spare $12 or $20 billion. But for them to, even if it's just sort of a chance of this passing, it makes sense as a hedge to buy in Florida, perhaps even move there for now, and then see where it all shakes out. By the way, even if this doesn't pass, it could be next year or the year after. So the fear is California will keep doing this until something works, and they just don't want it anymore.